So guys, welcome to another Chris is a Massive Fish. We're gonna review Chris's 25 Zoom session on his birthday. But yeah, so we're gonna review 2 tables of Zooms, about 45 minutes the video, so this could take a couple of hours. If you're watching on YouTube, because this is where it's gonna go, make sure you like and subscribe and comment if you like the videos. And yeah, let's see what we can do. So we will just get into this basically. So let's go. Ace King we see straight off the bat, and we're gonna 3-bet, aren't we, Chris? To 10 big blinds. So I'm going to talk mainly about non-anti games. This is an anti game, but the stars games from now are not anti games. So I'm basically going to sort of pretend this is non-anti, because any videos we get in future is not going to be antis. And because I don't play anti games anyway, because they never put it with like 100 zoom, I don't really know the exact differences between anti-games. I know that you defend wider, blah, blah, blah. It's just logical, like there's more money in the pot, you defend wider, etc. But we're basically sort of pretending it's not. 3-betting, Ace King, 2-10 big blinds seems pretty standard. I love how nice your HUD looks. Jack 8, I think call-in's probably just about okay. So I've got ranges up here, which is the bluff the spot ranges. This is the pre-flop Bible Lite, which especially for let's say up to 50 NL, I think is really useful. $50 for this. So versus cutoff, this is what we can defend, and Jack 8, it is folding. No, do you know what? In this exact scenario, it's actually fine because it's a min raise. This is assuming it's against a 2.2x, I think. And also this is an anti-game, so we want to defend wider. So this is actually, in this exact scenario, probably definitely a defend. Right, flop a gut shot, so we're going to be continuing. Yeah, well done, Chris. So we're definitely going to continue in some capacity. We have Jack 8 suited here. I think Jack 8 suited would be, if we had Jack 8 of one of those 3 suits, it'd be a mandatory check raise. And a solver would probably check raise 100%, even against half pot. But I think that people probably over c-bet. So I think that we can probably check raise this sometimes. Tens is going to be a 3-bet. So yeah, I don't mind the check raise. The sizing is okay here with the 10s. Versus a min raise, again, in an anti-game, I'm probably just going 9 big blinds here. And versus a 2.5x, which is what button should really be raising, I'd be going 10 big blinds, but 8 big blinds, not too bad. This is a board we're probably going to see bet range on the left for a third, because it's just amazing for us. 9 of diamonds on the turn. Interesting, we've got more 9x than he does. We block some Jack 9 and 8-9 suited, which is okay. But now we have less combos of boats and like sets and, you know, stuff like that. So 9-7 and pocket 9s. Obviously we have less combos of, but I'm still okay betting this turn. The problem is we don't have a diamond. He should have some hands like, let's say 10 Jack of diamonds or Ace Jack of diamonds. So he's going to have some floats that now pick up equity on the turn. So I don't mind checking this. I don't mind betting sometimes, because we're going to check raise a lot of stuff with backdoor flush draws, right? So we can have like Jack 8 diamonds and then we can continue with those. So I'm okay checking and then bluffing certain rivers. I'm also okay betting. We get called with the 10s on the left. I think we're just checking this turn and kind of hoping he checks back. Yeah, I like the check. And going for a check on the river with the Jack 8, I think is absolutely fine. So it's interesting because I don't hate what I do a lot in these spots on the right hand side. I'd go small when I have like a hand like, I'd probably go small with a 9, but you can also go small with bluffs like this, because we can get hands like, say, Ace Queen of diamonds to fold. So I wouldn't mind betting a quarter pot. I don't think that's a thing, like from theory point of view, but like as an exploit to get hands like Ace King of diamonds, like 10 Jack of diamonds, like stuff like that to fold, like, and then give yourself a really good price on a bluff, because like he's never going to fold an overpair, but he's always going to fold his like missed flush draws and stuff. So I think going small on this river is actually okay. On the left, we see a bet of half pot, probably just folding. It kind of sucks. Having 10s with the 10 of spades is a pretty bad hand to call down with, because we block some of his bluffs, such as Ace 10 of spades, Jack 10, stuff like that. It's not an amazing turn. Maybe he's going to have some like Ace Jack of hearts, which could bet on this turn, but other than that, he's still got some King X, he's maybe got some Queen X of spades and stuff, so I'm okay just folding. And obviously on the right, we're folding as well. Yeah, unless you're in the Twitch chat going, oh yeah, look at me, I cheated the other day. Yeah, so I'm okay with the fold. I'm okay with both lines though. The Jack 8 is definitely a bit loose. I don't think you want to be doing that every single time you have a gut shot. And I think you want to be paying attention to your stats, how often they c-bet, how often they fold to a raise on the flop, stuff like that. Obviously, you need a lot of hands on these players, so it's not going to work if you don't have many hands. But I think definitely it's okay every now and then. Chris, please tell me there's like at least a couple of good pots here. So a6 would probably be a fold here. I'm definitely okay with calling though. So if we look at the big blind defense range again. So versus under the gun, we're folding all of these weak. Again, this is against a 2.2x probably, or 2.25x. Also, again, it's antes and it's a min raise, so I'm okay with. In fact, I would definitely fold against a reg. If you're against a fun player, I'm okay with it. But against regs, you don't. These hands are they're just trash. Ace 5, Ace 4 are a little better because at least you know we can have wheel draws. Ace 10 plus we're gonna have like Broadway straight possibilities, so we never fold them. But I'm probably folding against a reg just Ace Deuce off through to Ace 9 off, to be honest. Definitely got to be relatively tight versus another gun. And there's just a lot of boards we're not doing anything on. Even versus a one big blind, I'm probably just folding. Because like we're just folding on every other turn and every river that isn't an ace, basically. And an ace we have reverse implied odds on. So, and what if he's just got pocket nines? We're just effectively dead. And I've seen like a lot of fun players do that. Get rid of it. Board on the right, definitely c-bet in 1/3, pretty much with range. Could probably go for a large sizing as well. So on this kind of board, solver's like, you know, you can have like a 1/3 with entire range strat or like a big bet and check strategy. I just prefer betting 1/3 with range. It just works really, really well against your general players. They're not check raising anywhere near enough as they should be. I think I prefer checking on this jack turn. Betting doesn't achieve that much. He's not going to fold king X. He's not going to fold jack X. We do block some of those kind of hands, you know, block ace jack, king 10, jack 10. I do like that you've amped up your aggression though. That you double barreling a lot more. That is something I will say. Maybe at these stakes that's going to be quite good as well. Because I think you were c-betting a lot and giving up. So I'm glad to see that. But I think there's just better hands to do it with. For example, why not do it with queen 10, where we have queen high, so we can get ace highs to fold, and we've got an open ender, so we've got more equity. We still have a little bit of showdown with the ace 10, that's the thing. King 9 suited, I wouldn't hate a 3-bet. So let's see, does it have the 3-bet starts here? Button versus cutoff, it's 3-betting a little bit of King 9 suited. So definitely think that we can 3-bet sometimes. Versus cutoff, we can 3-bet quite a lot of stuff. So MMA, like bluff the spot ranges are very similar to mine in that they very much like the suited connectors. Always opening these kind of hands from under the gun and always 3-betting them. I think that versus cutoff, you can probably get away with always 3-betting them. But even here, he's versus under the gun, pure 3-betting, 6-7 suited and 5-6 suited on the button. I feel as though it's probably not actually ideal to just pure 3-bet those hands. Probably going to be winning money, but I don't think the EV of these hands is that great in 100 big blind cash games. I think it's a lot better when it's deeper. But yeah, so King 9 suited, we could have 3-bet there. Again, just if you've got enough hands on players, just look at how often they fold to 3-bet, how often they 4-bet, stuff like that. If they're 4-bet super low, then we definitely want to 3-bet that kind of hand, right? Because even if they are just calling a lot of 3-bets, we're still in position with, you know, King 9 suited. It's a hand that plays well. We're in position, lots of boards that we can barrel on and stuff like that. So I think that we should be 3-betting more against players that call a lot, but don't 4-bet. It's just when they 4-bet, you don't get to realize your equity. Ace Jacker, I think versus under the gun and a call, we do just want to call, especially versus a small raise. Queen 9 suited, it plays okay enough. Let's see. So does it have... I don't think it has defending to 3-bets here. Yeah, okay. So the full version has what you should be defending with to 3-bets and what you should be 4-betting with. So that is quite useful, but for the money, I just don't think it's worth it. But I think Queen 9 suited would probably be a little bit loose, so I'm okay with it. Anyway, it looks like we're not going to get any good hands here, so, you know. Thanks, Chris. Just fold the ace jack here. We're against under the gun. Yes, he might be a bit of a fun player, but we're against under the gun, who was raised under the gun and then bet into 2 people, and we have just ace high with a backdoor 3rd nut flush draw. Like, yeah, we're gonna have the best hand sometimes, but again, we've got to fold on a lot of turns. Oops. I do like the fact that you've checked this river though, because we do have showdown. We don't want to bluff this high up in our range, I don't think. King Jack suited, mainly want to be 3-betting. I think I'm okay with calling, so let's see what bluff the spot has here. I think we probably want to pure 3-bet King Jack suited, actually. Yeah, it's just pure 3-betting. And then again, like, so in the ranges that I've got, it might like peel this sometimes versus a 4-bet, but maybe not King Jack suited actually, but I can't really remember. But I think generally you want to be, well, obviously we're folding. Ace Queen, definitely 3-betting. So why are we picking this sizing? Like, I saw you go 10 big blinds with Ace King before. For what reason are we going 12? Is there a reason? Because he's open bigger, 2.8. Okay. So what was it before? Was it a 2.5x? I don't think that's that necessary versus a 0.3. Maybe just go one big blind bigger. I thought it was going to be because he calls a lot, and we just want to get more value, which I think is fine. King Queen's obviously going to be a fold. All right, so on this board, I know solvers choose a big sizing pretty much on this board, pretty much always. The thing is, when you 3-bet quite big as well, you're just reducing the stack to pot ratio. So then when you choose large sizes, you basically have like a pot size bet behind or like just over. King Queen definitely a fold on the left. There's literally nothing we can do. King Queen suited, we can 4-bet or call. I don't mind checking this turn here. I also don't mind betting. I think I much prefer betting with Ace King because then he can have hands like Ace Queen. Obviously, he's still got hands like Ace Jack of Hearts, Ace 10 of Hearts, maybe Ace 7, Ace 8 of Hearts. So maybe on this specific board, when we don't have the Ace of Hearts, I think I'm okay betting. But I think sometimes on this turn we want to check. The reason being is that we're going to check a lot of hands that we want to show down with, right? Like 10s, Jacks. We don't want to go too sick with those when we've, especially if we bet large on the flop. So we're going to want to be checking. But yeah, this combo in this hand, I think definitely can bet anyway. I think we can go smaller than this. If you look now, the pots, we already have a pot size bet behind if he folds. So if he calls here, we have way less than pot. I think we can just bet smaller than this. And we can do that with value and bluffs. And just bet like 16, 17 big blinds there. And then we've still got less than a pot size shove for the river. And yeah, we have some ace X to check as well. Like, we're not going to want to go nuts here with, let's say, ace 4 suited, right? Like ace 4 of clubs, we're not exactly going to want to bet get it in, because what's he going to have? And that's going to happen a lot as well. When you bet the turn, he's just going to fold. King 7 suited, slightly open from the cutoff. So let's see what BTS has for cutoff opens. King 5 suited plus and a little bit of King 3 and King 4 suited. But yeah, King 7 definitely an open from the cutoff. The dog's on top. So again, blind on blind, I'm not exactly I'm very weak at blind on blind play. I could get behind a 4-bet or a call here. I think we're probably too strong to fold. Again, this isn't going to have what ranges we're going to defend versus 3-bets. It's just going to have, this is a 3-bet range from big blind versus small blind. So if you look at the purple, how well does King 10 of diamonds perform against it? Honestly, pretty well. So I think we're at least calling. I could see a 4-bet here. I think I like 4-bet bluff in this hand, just because we're out of position. And just have to fold on a lot of boards. Not really a fan of his sizing on that board, but... Alright, we get check raise with the King 7 of clubs. Definitely going to continue here. With the second nut flush draw. We dominate worse flush draws. We have good equity against hands like Ace 9, stuff like that. Turn a flush. He takes his time. I think I'm just calling here. If he has bluffs, we want to keep those bluffs in. We're going to have a lot of hands we want to call here, right? Let's say 10s with a club, Jacks with a club, stuff like that. Ace 9 suited. So when we start raising here, what are our bluffs going to be? Yeah, maybe we're going to have a Ace 10 with the Ace of clubs, Ace King with the Ace of clubs, something like that. But there's not really that many hands that are going to be bluffing here, so I think we just call quite a lot of our range. Versus a smaller bet, I'd prefer more raising, because we can just have like wider for value, and obviously we can... But again, saying this is 25 and L, and we're against a fun player. We might just want to put more money in. So you now see Queen on the river. Queen 4 suited does improve. There's a couple of combos of that. One combo of that, sorry. It's on the Queen 4 of diamonds, isn't it? So that's actually kind of a good card. So now we are obviously betting on the river, and it's just a case of what size we want to go for. Considering we were a little bit deeper, actually, I don't hate raising the turn. I think I'm just going to go very large here, especially against someone we have tagged as a fun player, because most players are not going to fold a 4, and if they have a worse flush, they're not folding that either. So I'm probably going larger than this, like close to pot, probably like 3/4 pot, because I think we're getting called by a similar range. What are you specifically trying to achieve from this sizing? That's what you've got to look at here. You've got to look at like what you're trying to target, basically. So are you saying that he's going to call 28 big blinds with a 4 or a worse flush, but he's not going to call bigger? Or are you saying, you know, he's gonna like fold to a bigger size, and like a lot of the time he's just going to be check folding a lot of bluffs anyway, or whatever. If he has a hand like ace 9 suited, he's probably not calling that size. So I don't really like that size. I'd rather go really large and sort of polarize, because we can still have bluffs, ace king with the ace of clubs, stuff like that. Maybe even, you know, like a 9 that we're turning into a bluff. But I think that if we're going to go for a smaller size rather than a big size, then make it smaller, make it less than half pot, something like 19 big blinds, maybe even a third part, trying to really, you know, get a crying call from some random 9x that's just decided to take this line. But overall, yeah, fine. I don't hate the size on the river. It's not terrible. At least you didn't check. 5's very easy to defend. Ding, ding, ding. Flop bottom set in a 3-way pot. Things you love to see. King 5 easy fold. He picks a large size in. Like to see it. And I think we're just always raising this. So we can have a lot of bluffs. We want to have hands like 6-4 suited, 6-8 suited. So 6-8 of clubs, 6-4 of clubs, stuff like that. Obviously like 8-9 of diamonds. There's just so much we can have in terms of high equity bluffs. So we can check raise all of those like pair, those like, you know, straight draw, flush draw combos. So whenever we have a set which is only ever 5s and 7s, we should just always be check raising. Especially in lower stakes, people see a board like that, and a lot of the time you'll just see like shoves from like aces, because they just want to protect the hand because there's so much out there. And you just really want to get as much money in as you can when it's like this. All right, we'll just drill a fucking 5 on the turn. Easy game. So I'm actually okay checking this turn. So from a theory point of view, we're going to do a lot of checking on this turn, right? So I think I actually like checking this. Depending on who you're playing against. If you're playing against a really sticky fish, then yeah, just put some more money in the pot, right? But if you're playing against a reg or someone where you want to be balanced, definitely checking this hand sometimes. This card, like when we have a lot of draws, it's just a complete brick, and it's hard, you know, if he has a jack or like aces, kings, queens, stuff like that, don't forget he's raised under the gun, he's just not going anywhere. So I don't mind checking. But again, this being lower stakes, I don't mind just betting and shoving river. Again, I don't think we need to go this size, because again, look at it. We've now, if he calls this 24 big blinds, we're going to have like not that much on the river left. And so when we're bluffing, we want to choose a smaller size. When we're value betting, we should choose a smaller size. You can just go half pot here, and then you're setting yourself up for less than a pot size river shove. But yeah, if agreed, that is strong when he bet calls. But the thing is as well, he's also dead with flushes to your value range, right? So you're probably not going to be betting Jack 7 or something on this turn, but you're going to be betting, you know, Jack 5 of spades, you're going to be betting 7-5 of spades, you're going to be betting 7s, 5s. He's dead to all of those hands with a hand like ace 10 of diamonds. So he can fold like flush draws, where he could potentially either bluff flush draws, or even better, check back and then, you know, just drill a diamond on the river. He just shoves and he's dead, so. Alright, well, he shouldn't be opening... Tag him as a fish, because what's he doing opening Jack 7 suited under the gun? Life's easy sometimes. Just drill a set against top 2. So 6s, I assume he opened. I definitely want to see you bet on this board. So yeah, I think he played it okay. I think a smaller bet on the turn accomplishes the same, if not more. So king queen suited, we should be 3-betting. It's one of those where, like, when you see a 3x from under the gun, depending on players, I've seen, like, literally fish that will just 3x when they have a really good hand, and then, like, min-raise when they don't. So it's always a bit of sketch, but definitely 3-betting is better. So you like going for the double barrel a lot. I don't see much of a need in going with the double barrel of 6s. And then checking back, we're just going to lose a lot to, like, yeah, ace queen. Once he calls flop, maybe we get like 7s, 8s to fold, but a 9 is not a great card. We haven't picked up any more equity. It's not like the 2 is on the turn and we now have a gut shot. I think I just prefer checking the turn. Double barrel in those kind of hands doesn't really make that much sense. Not the worst of flops for king queener. Definitely like a bet. We could probably go a bit bigger here. Just again, we have advantage in overpairs. It's a pretty disconnected board. I'm okay going a third in position. I think I'd probably go a bit larger here once we've 3-bet under the gun. But I think it's fine. So interesting to see what you're gonna do here. I am interested to see what you're gonna do here. 8-9 suited, we're going for it. I don't know if 5x is necessary, maybe just 4x, but I think I'd probably go 4x. Definitely going to bet this flop, even though it kind of sucks. Honestly, I don't mind just checking these kind of hands, like 8-9 suited, in these spots when a fun play is limited. Yeah, we want to get more money in the pot, but no, I guess it's okay. Prefer doing it with just like suited aces and just, you know, solid value hands. So we go for a check with the king queen, which I think is fine. He has more 6x than us, although not really that many. 6-7 suited, 5-6 suited. He's probably not folding any 10x. He can still have hands like jacks. I think I like double barreling hands like queen jack suited because we block like his strongest overpairs, jacks and queens. And then we can definitely decide to bluff this river if we want. We do have some flushes. We may have some hands like aces and kings that we're going to check back the turn. We can get hands like, say, ace queen of diamonds to fold. But I guess he does have some flushes that he might slow play. And he might even just call 8s and 9s. So I'm okay checking this back on the river. But we do want to have some bluffs on the river. So hands like ace king, I'm just going to check back because we have a little bit of showdown. As we go lower down in our range, when we have, you know, hands like king high or queen high, stuff like that, I think I'm going to just bluff a little bit. So I don't hate bluffing. And obviously you shouldn't have ace jack offsuit. He's just tagging him as a fish. But we get hands like that to fold, as we do with the double barrel as well. So right, honestly here, queen 10 suited, I think I'm just going to fold. I don't hate calling if we know the big blind's a fun player. Yeah, nice. It's actually really nice to see, like, a fold. I don't know if this should be folded, but against a 55 big blind stack who's 3x'd, I think folding is okay. Ace king suited, we open. Ace king off, we're probably going to 3-bet. But we are going to 3-bet. Evening. Is he a friend of yours? Is that what red is? Evening! 3-bet. You're going to get 4-bet. Just because you said evening. He calls. Okay, so interesting to see what you're going to do on this board here. So this is slightly different because obviously we're deeper here. So I think we want to have more bets than we usually would. I don't really like this sizing. I think we want to go bigger here when we do bet. We want to check this board quite a lot when we're the 3-better. This is a board that's quite sketchy. It's probably better for a villain. Well, we still have advantage in the overpairs. But we want to be doing a reasonable amount of checking on this. Regardless of board and cards, he's getting tripled. It's because he's a mate. Go bigger on this flop, especially with the ace of spades. Go bigger. If you're going to bet. And I think I'd want to check this like 75% of the time and bet like 2/3 pot like 25% of the time. Again, I'm not sure if this is like really good theory. I don't know if this is what solvers would do, but I know that on this kind of board, we do want to be doing a reasonable amount of checking, so... But again, if you're against someone that you might know is just going to be fit or fold, if you know, for example, your mate's going to be quite fit or fold, not saying you should just start bluffing your mates relentlessly, but if you know that, you know, this reg isn't going to check raise as much as he should, which they're probably not at these stakes, then we can c-bet more, right? Because we're just not going to get blown off our equity as much. 6-7, ping a gut shot. I'm going for the 3-bet with the ace queen. I like it. Sizing's good. Going for a check raise. Okay. Go on, do it. So I like the aggression. I like that we're going for some check raises on this board. This is a board that we actually want to check a reasonable amount of the time. The only thing I don't like here is that we have 6-7 of diamonds and not the other 6-7s. If we had any of the other 6-7 suiteds, this would be lovely. I would actually love you for this. But with it being 6-7 of diamonds, we don't have the backdoor flush draw. So I actually think I prefer just c-bet and flop. But I'm liking that you... We went through this last time, didn't we? Where you were just always c-betting a lot of boards and never check raising value or check raising bluffs. So I actually really like that you're taking this line. It's just pissed me off that you've got 6-7 of diamonds and not 6-7. Obviously you can't pick your hand, but and it works. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with it. I like it. See, I know what's happened here now. I know what's happened. Chris has just put in a video where he thought he played really well, regardless of what spots. And the reason he's done that is because he wants me to say nice things about him because it's his fucking birthday today. So 10s on this board. I don't really know what we want to do. Check raising. Okay. Okay. I think it's viable. Blocking his strongest hands. We still have advantage on this board. If we're doing this, though, let's go fucking nuts with it. Let's go nuts with it. Let's have it. Just make sure he's not an absolute station. This is a card I just want to slow down on. Because he does have a reasonable amount of King X, and we are also dead to boats. He can have King Jack, he can have King Queen. He can have King 9, King 8 suited, King 6 suited. I think we just check on this turn a lot. And again, we can balance and check with boats. Are we going to go for it, though, son? Are we going to go for it? If you overbet shove, Chris, I will give you a medal. Not because I think you played it well, but just because I think you've just got a fucking absolute sack on you. Ah, he's bottled it. Now, when he checks back with, like, Queen 9, or, like, Jack 9 of spades, you're going to feel like a bellend. Yeah, and now we just got to fold. Don't call now. Watch him call. Nah, I don't like check jamming, not versus that size. What you getting to fold? Come on, this is a fun player. He's not going to, like, bet fold King 9, is he? And he just has boats as well. What are we thinking about here, Chris? Yeah, we beat, like, ace-5 of spades and stuff. Yeah, we just got to fold. Like, we just got to fold. Okay, so if we go over the hand again, I'm okay with the check raise, and I'm all about going for a check raise and going, you know what, I'm just going to blast this hand. So many times I see a flop, and then I see it, and I'm just like, oh, fuck's sake, I'm tripling this, aren't I? And I just know that I'm going to triple it off. And obviously, it depends on the run out, right? One of the worst cards for you to start bluffing is a king. It's just the worst card to start bluffing. He now has boats. He now has loads of trips. You block some of his, like, insta-folds, like 10-8 suited. 10-7 suited. Maka, do you think that fish in 25 zoom with a 2% 3-bet are going to be 3-betting King Jack? Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here with your chat, bro. Get out of it. He's probably got pocket jacks, for God's sake. Ooh, chat pro, ooh, look at me. I use solvers and play 200 NL. Anyway, so, yeah, I don't hate the aggression on the flop, and I'm okay with, because I think that you knew that you were going to not just check raise flop and then fold turn, that you were going to, you know, start multi-barreling, and I think it's fine, but not on a king turn. Like, go easy on a king turn, man. Yeah, we're going to have, like, loads of hands for value, and we can check those as well, or we can just, you know, I don't know. Like, let's bluff when we have less showdown as well. Let's bluff when we have ace-5 of spades, right? Where we don't actually have any showdown. And we unblock the 10-8 suiteds and stuff that are going to fold. Ace-queen suited, very much okay with c-betting here. I also don't mind checking back. This board's kind of good for him. He's got, like, small blind. What's the light blue tag? Yeah, if the light blue tag's like a nit, then maybe they're going to have some sets there as well. So I'm okay checking back, definitely okay betting. We can defend to a raise on that board as well with the ace-queen, with the backdoor flush draw. So I don't mind going a big size, don't mind going a small size. And defending to a raise versus small size, stationary. Okay, then I actually prefer betting, because if they're just going to call a lot, we get to realise our equity and build the pot with a pretty strong draw and backdoor. King, queen suited, easy open. And just, I'm pretty much just always peeling here. I don't know if solvers, like, you know, ranges want to 4-bet here a lot, but I'm just pretty much always peeling king, queen suited here. Just plays really well in position, like keep his bluffs in, like king, jack suited, queen, jack suited, stuff like that. Queen, jack suited open, and probably just going to bet a third on this board. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I want to see what you're going to do here with the king, queen suited. I'm definitely okay with it. So with the queen jack, I'm not loving it with this sizing. Fuck me. We are going to call though. So on this turn, I think I like checking back with king, queen of spades and then bluffing some rivers. This is obviously a really good turn for us. It's actually an amazing turn for us, but this hand's kind of bad. So it depends again on how he plays. He should probably be betting larger on that flop just because, again, he has just amazing like advantage on that board. If he should be checking that turn possibly with range, like, or a very high frequency. So I think if I'm in his spot, I'm checking every flush and stuff like that. But okay, I'm okay with it. I'm hating this queen jack suited here. I'm liking it a bit more, but we still lose to the same value stuff. But at least it's a complete break. We've got top two. We only lose to sixes and deuces. Queen six suited, of which there's one combo of. So obviously pretty good river where we just have a very easy decision now. Hopefully you want him to have jack 10 of clubs here. That would be lovely because he's going to jam that in for value. Right, so like two things that I think you can do on this river is either shove. Like betting this size is retarded. Like have a jam and a really small sizing. Like, literally, you could bet, like, 10 big blinds here, 9 big blinds here to induce from just miss nonsense. Or get a crying call from, like, the jack of clubs, like, let's say jack 9 of clubs. Or just jam. Like, just jam. What is this sizing? What is it? Like, what do you think is going to happen there? Anyway, so jam or bet a really small sizing. So betting a really small sizing will just induce. Let's say he's got 7, 8 of clubs, and we bet like 9 big blinds. You see a lot of fun players that just go, I'm not having that, I'm all in. Fuck you. And then you just snap them off and feel like a G. Threes, open. 6-4, fold. Definitely want to fold threes here now, I think. I'd be okay with calling because it's a smaller 3-bet. But because he has not a full stack, we just don't have as good implied odds. Pre-flop, I think you're very, very solid now. I think you're very solid. I've not seen anything I really didn't like, apart from maybe a loose open here or there, or, you know, a nitty fold like the Queen 9 suited. Okay, betting here for a third. Won't like it if we get raised. Do have a backdoor straight draw. Maybe we can call one. We'll see. And again, you like your double barrels, don't you? This is just a bad card where we want to check a lot. Yep, right. I like the check. Okay, betting a third on this flop on the left. I'm okay with checking. Definitely just want to check fold, though. Don't do anything fancy on this board, please. Oh, you're going to do it, aren't you? Come on, fold. Just fold. Click the fold button. Click the fold button. Yeah, he did it. There we go. So, again, even if you have Jack 7 of clubs, it becomes an infinitely better check raise bluff. It's still not great. I'd much prefer 10 Jack suited, or, you know, even Jack 9 suited, where you, or like, Jack 9 suited. Yeah, even Jack 9 suited is better because you got the backdoor straight draw with the Queen. So yeah, just don't do these random irrational bluffs. Even if you think he's stabbing a lot, even if you think he's stabbing a lot, it's fine, because then just check your entire range and just check ace queen, ace king, ace jack, check raise ace jack for value, check raise king jack, check raise whatever, check raise fucking 4, 5, like 5, 6 of hearts, like so much better. So I think here, so I'm gonna see what Bluff the Spot recommends. Small blind defense versus under the gun. So Queen 10 suited, half 3-bet and half fold. So the Bluff the Spot here has basically a 3-bet or fold strategy. I think at these stakes in an anti-game, you can probably get away with calling a lot more. This is a small raise. There's more in the pot because it's an anti-game. You know, the big blind generally isn't going to squeeze enough. So I'm okay calling her. But I think folding's better than 3-betting. Well, in saying that, I don't 3-bet there, basically, is what I'm saying. What are we doing here with King 7? No. I know we're getting a really good price, but hands like King 7 off are just trash. This is a leak of mine as well. This is a big leak of mine. I wouldn't call King 7 though. King on a turn. I think I want to check this turn. We don't have a very strong king. We shouldn't be in with this hand, by the way. And we want to allow the original raiser to bluff, so I think check calling is fine. Now we're already fucking hating life. So now we're actually kind of in a spot. I guess we'll call, and now at least we've got an easy check fold because his main bluff gets there. I could honestly just see like a fold on the turn against a pot size bet. Okay. Who am I to say? Who am I to say Chris is a fucking idiot by defending King 7 and calling two streets? To be fair, against that size, I'm actually okay with calling, only because I think he should be betting bigger with flushes. But he still has hands like ace king, king queen, stuff like that. And he shouldn't just like, he shouldn't check the flop and then bet the turn. Tag him as a fish anyway. Congratulations on your amazing play. You're the greatest, Chris. Can you coach me, please? Oh, great one. Check Chris coming out with the odds. Oh, we only have to win 1 in X times. All right, Chris, big man. All right, the Jack 9 here, I think I like going for a small bet here. We can get value and we can protect, more importantly. There's quite a lot of overs there. I'd like to see a value bet here as well. the one big blind bet. Love to see it. Yeah, nice bet. I probably just go a third there, so 2 big blinds. But I think that's okay. And that's the thing as well. So not only are we betting for protection, we can also get value, right? So we can get value from 5s on that turn against a fun player. Because they should really be c-betting the flop, but they're definitely going to be calling turn. They won't fold a pair, so. 6-7 suited, you better believe I am raising, and then when I have 6-7 in this spot, I'm really wanting him to 3-bet. Like, I really love playing these hands deeper They're just so sexy to play very deep. I'm definitely going to start betting on this board in position. We have a nut shot. This is a really good board for 6-7 of spades. This is just an amazing board. We get a lot of instant folds. I would double barrel always here, trying to get hands like 8s to fold. You know, maybe like a king jack of hearts, depending on like turns, stuff like that. Got more equity, why not just fucking drill it? I don't know if we want to overbet here a lot, but I think overbetting's fine. I'm not seeing you do any overbets. I don't overbet as much as I should. We just have like we just have advantage in the ace-x, right? Ace queen, ace king. So I think overbetting here is definitely okay. If we're not going to overbet, definitely bet big, which I've done. So I really like that line. And then probably giving up on a lot of rivers just because he's going to be very ace-x heavy. So going to be 3-betting the ace-10 suited here. Sizing's okay. In an anti-game, yeah, I guess it's okay. I'm probably just going, even versus a larger bet, I'm probably just going 8 big blinds there. Board we're going to see bet on. It's a pretty good board, really. We've got the backdoor flush draw. We are blocking ace jack and 10 jack of spades. So I really like this as a double barrel a lot of the time, depending on your opponent, trying to get like some 6x or like pocket 8s and stuff to fold. I think I'm just going to check on this turn. He has like 6-7 suited, like 9s, 10s probably are still calling, jack x still calling. I think this turn specifically, I think that I would barrel here on a queen, a king, an ace, maybe a 10 small for value and protection, any spade, maybe even a 9, just because it's like, then his 5s and 7s and stuff, like an 8, so I've got another over to it. Here I think we want to just check back most of the time. I'm okay with the bet here. I really want to see you get called. I really want to see you get called and see what you're doing on the river there. We've not seen enough river spots, and that's what I want to see. Because the river spots, like, that's where the pot's obviously the biggest, and that's where, you know, I want to see if you're tripling or if you're just you know, if you're just double barreling. So if you can, video more sessions and just like see if you can, you know, when you think there's a good one. I want to see river spots. I want to see you know, pre-flop, like, tough decisions where, you know, maybe it's not like a possible solve spot where someone's called 4-bet or something and, you know, we have a tough decision or something, so. Don't worry too much about red line. Like, you needed to worry about it to an extent, but, like... So somebody saw my red line and is like, oh, that's terrible red line, you need to sort that out. And I was like, shut up, no I don't. Like, most people have a losing red line. It makes sense when you consider what a red line is and how it works. 9s, I think, without a club. Depends on... What's the yellow tag? I'm okay just folding. In a way, like, having the 9 of clubs means we block less flush draws, but having the 9 of clubs also means we have more equity. What was your note on him? The thing is, we just have so many turns we have to fold with 9s. I'd be interested to see what a solver does here. And then obviously we just fold in 9s it. I'm okay with betting the 6-7 here because we can just bet fold and we want to protect our hand and we get a lot of just random stuff to fold. And okay, just about with the open ender I'm okay, and then we check. Yeah, alright. I'm okay with that with the 6-7. Just fold here. I know it might be like, yeah, he's going to have a lot of bluffs, but he can also overbet value. He can also overbet 4s and 3s, jack 4 suited, stuff like that. We have, like, the bottom of our range, right? We're going to have hands like ace-jack, 10-jack suited, pocket 10s. Definitely, with a club, even maybe without a club. We're going to have some really strong draws. We're going to have hands like ace-queen of diamonds, ace-king of diamonds, maybe king-queen of diamonds. So, yeah, easy fold with the 9s on the turn. And that's the problem we're calling the flop, right? Look, we just have a lot of turns, even versus not an overbet. There's still so many turns we have to fold. So it's not about how often we have the best hand on the flop. How often can we actually realize our equity? 3-betting the queens. Again, I probably wouldn't go the full 9x even versus a 3x, but it's fine. Only because of his stack size. We get cold called by Fishy. So now we hope that Mr. Tevez bangs it in because there's loads of dead money. And then we just have a... Ooh. Yeah, we have an easy reshove, I'd say. But we are deeper. Okay, so now it gets interesting. So this is a board that's really good for our range. We block one combo of king, queen suited. They can definitely have 9s and 7s. Really awkward one because you don't want to check because there's a lot to protect from and get value from, but you don't really want to bet because it feels a little thin. I think I'm okay going with a third. Just insta-check in turn once it goes call. Even though we're going to have the best hand a lot. Anything else is just... And now we're just praying it goes chat. He's going to bat and it's going to suck. Alright. And then find out what that fish had and make a note what he called with. Assume he looked. Maybe looked at 8-9 suited. His post-flop play seems okay, but you could even turn that into a bluff. But obviously pre-flop it's trash. So ace-5 off here, probably folding, yeah. I'm okay with it. I think bluff the spot, so versus middle position. Yeah, so this has just got under the gun and middle position. But again, this hand's much better than ace-6 or ace-7 or ace-8. At least we've got the Broadway draws. So against fun players, I think it's okay, but I think calling's okay, but I think generally you want to fold. And I think that's fine. So the Jack-7 suited, again, it's interesting. Why would you ever... I mean, it is a 3x, but we have suited gappers. Why are we over-calling King-7 off, but we're folding Jack-7 suited? I would call that. I actually don't know if it's that profitable to call. I think it's probably just about okay. Jack-8 suited, Jack-9 suited, easy call. But the fact that you're calling King-7 off just because it's a smaller raise going three-way, like that is definitely a leak. That's King-7 off is just terrible, whereas Jack-7 suited, multi-way, you've just got chances for straights, flushes. King-7, you've got fuck all. So I'm annoyed at the King-7, Chris. I think it was a momentary lapse in concentration. Just make sure you concentrate when you're playing. Keep focused throughout your play. And if you're not focusing, take a break. I'm telling that is the thing that's one of the things that people just don't pay attention to. Alright, we're going for a loose 3-bet here, so does he have a high fold to 3-bet? Not really. Punished for the light 3-bet. His fold to 3-bet's pretty low there, 58%. His 4-bet's relatively low as well though, but I don't think I like this 3-bet with 5s. I wouldn't like calling here with 5s either. Even though it's like, no. No, Chris, just no. Why are we calling a fucking 4-bet with 5s? All of this was absolutely fine. We'd had a solid pre-flop strategy. We didn't do anything bad. But the thing is, right, we're not deep enough. We're calling 13 big blinds. He only has 81 behind, right? And we're going to flop a set 1 in 8 times. So the way I'd see it is you need at least 10 times what he has behind. Because sometimes you're going to get set oversetted. Sometimes you're going to get a set and lose on a 5-2, 4-3 board against ace king. So at least 10 times behind. So he's going to need to have, even if you include the pot, I'd say if you ignore the pot, he's going to have 10 times behind. Or if you include the pot, 12 times behind. So he needs to have 12 times 13, which is 156. Is that right? Because if that's right, that'll be fucking quick maths and a half. Oh my god, I am an absolute don. Sorry, just let me wank myself off for another minute. That was amazing. That was amazing maths. Yeah, well, we're just not getting implied odds, and we have reverse implied odds. When he bets here, we are supposed to call. Kanu might call because he's against... sorry, that maths was fucking amazing, wasn't it? Kanu might call because, like, in theory, he should be called 4-bet and ace-queen. Good luck getting that from a fucking guy with 4%. You're looking at it the wrong way, Chris. If he's got a nitty 3-bet range, or a nitty 4-bet range, 5s plays worse. Because you've just got, you're going to call this turn, aren't you? Right, check. No, what are you putting money in for? Yeah, we just have to check. Oh, we're gonna call this river, aren't we? Please tell me he's value owning you with like 7s or 9s or something. You just said he was a nit, man. You knew he was a nit. You knew he was a fucking nit. And then you were just like, I'm just going to call this river. I've got a pair of 5s, innit? That 13 big blinds that you're already putting in, you're then going ahead and losing another 30. So even if you ignore the 13 you put in, you lost another 30 big blinds because you were like, I'm getting a right price. I'm getting a good price here. Bell end. Although I'm glad that we have a good video, but I'm upset with you because you'd stop doing this fucking nonsense. I know it's so tempting on the river. Yeah, Ace King of Spades missed. Yeah, he's definitely going to check the turn with Ace King of Spades. He's definitely going to bet fucking 15 big blinds for value. Curious Chris. More like Chris the absolute bell end. That 5s on the other hand was not reasonable. Fold pre. First of all, right, let me fucking let me go in on him. Let me go in on him. So let me see what we're 3-betting button versus what was it? Button versus cutoff. Right, first of all, borderline hand, right? So we're not even 3-betting versus loose players that often fold to 3-bet. This guy had a loose 3-bet, right? A low fold to 3-bet, I should say. So this is the 3-bet was probably bad. Not only that, look at that. That is the absolute nut bottom of our range. Why would we need or want to defend the nut bottom of our range to a cold 4-bet? As in a very, very strong play. Just no need. Absolutely no need. King 10, middle position. This is going to be like bottom of range. I'd be folding this in the games that I play. Again, very borderline. Same with the Queen 10. I feel as though you're going to open it. You do. So not hate it, but don't hate it, but I don't really like it. King 9 suited, easy open. I would have 3-bet as well, especially a little bit deeper versus cutoff. Ace Queen, easy open. Alright, at least we had one punt in here that we could just dissect and say it was really bad. So I think that 3-way we generally want to be betting smaller. Everyone's going to be a bit more face up. They're going to have to fold a lot more, so we can bluff a bit more. I don't like going this size with the Ace Queen. I don't think it's necessary. Half pot at most, I think. King 10 suited, we overcalled, I think. Wouldn't hate a squeeze, but I think calling's okay, and then we're just folding. Pre-flop has been fine. We're going for a 4-bet with King Queen off. Look at this guy. He's got balls. No, that sizing's okay versus... Yeah, that sizing's okay, I think. Alright, okay. So you've obviously been looking at these ranges where King Queen off is going to be a 4-bet sometimes. So a lot of the hands that you want to 4-bet with are going to be hands that don't seem quite good enough to call, but seem too good to fold. That's the way I do it. It always seems like those kind of hands. All right, this is an interesting spot here. Is that a 2% 3-bet? I'm just folding. Yeah, just fold. Fuck it. 1 out of 64. Get rid of it. Yeah, I don't mind. I do this sometimes as well. I think this would be a good hand, especially a little bit deeper to cold 4-bet bluff in these positions. I think cold 4-bet now would make sense. But when he's got 2% 3-bet, I like the fact that you hovered over the 3-bet. Yeah. I think Chris is actually a winning player now. Isn't that good? Alright, pocket 9s. Let's raise it up. I'd probably go in just 4x again. I think that this is maybe a little bit big. We are out of position as well, so definitely okay with the third. Probably just want to check this turn. We have a little bit of showdown. Jack's obviously a bad card. I think against this sizing we want to call. I was wondering what we want to do if he bets. So we still beat bluffs. He's going to have some king X here, but against that size, I think we just want to call. Definitely want to check river. And just fold against a pot size bet. So this 5-6 suited, yeah, I like the fact that he folded here. We don't even have to open this fully. And when he's not even playing a full stack as well, and it's a, is it a large 3-bet and 9 big blinds? Over, yeah, I think we want to fold this 5-6 suited. And that's coming from me, so you know it's got to be a fold. You know it's got to be a fold. And the 9s, yeah, versus a pot size bet, just folding, I think. Hang on, we're like... Fold. Like, I think you lose focus towards the end of sessions. I think that you should play for half an hour, have a 5-minute break, play for half an hour. Like, I can't stress enough to you guys that if you're not, like, fully focused and you're not playing your A game, that's where your EV is going to go. You could be an absolute sicko in terms of knowing stuff about poker. You could have all the theory towards poker. Like, it's a mental game. You need to be mentally strong and, like, mentally, like, in a good place and well rested and stuff like that. Yesterday I played tired. The reason I'm doing the stream is because I'm tired. If I play, because I've not been sleeping well, if I play 100 Zoom, I won't play well. I might not be losing, but my EV is way less than if I'm playing when I'm 100% fit and stuff like that. Ace Queen in these positions, I think we're okay with calling. It's not going to have what we should be calling here, is it? Let me see. So I'm not going to put up the... I'm not going to put up... the actual full pre-flop Bible, but I'm interested to see what the pre-flop Bible says about. So this is the full one, which I don't have. I'm not allowed to show. I would imagine it's a mix. Is going to be my guess. It could even be a mix of all three. Versus small blind and big blind. Okay, so it's a mix of. It's got calling 75% of the time, folding 4 betting 25% of the time. And ace queen suited is a pure call. It does depend on here. If I think the 3 betting loads and just never 5 betting, like light, like they just like fold like the, you know, hands like 8s, 9s, 10s, stuff like that. Then I'm gonna 4 bet a lot. I think this is gonna be player dependent, but calling is fine. Fold and 4 betting is fine. Right, we went for the 4 bet. We get snap called. Sizing's fine. I think the sizing's okay. Maybe one bigger in an anti-game. We get snap flattered. This is just an amazing board. Always bet this board. We can go a quarter. We can have loads of fun on this board. Can do what we want. Well, not what we want, but either bet a third or a quarter it. In a 4 bet pot, please don't go too big. This is a really good hand. He's not necessarily a fish, by the way. No. Yeah, okay. So we go a third. Ding, 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 ding. Our survey says. What a fucking life. I'd check back here. No, maybe not. Okay, so let's go back to the flop. This hand's good. We block ace king. We block aces. We block queens. We block king queen suited. This is just an amazing board. And a pretty good combo in that, you know, we do block some of his strongest hands there. He can still have kings. He can still have 10s. But yeah. So on this turn card, I think we want to bet. Don't bet big. Look at the stack to pot ratio. We have just over 1 SPR. We could even check this back sometimes, but given how strong his range is going to be on this turn, he can have some king X, he can have kings, he can have 10s, he can have jacks, he could have aces, he could have queens, which is, you know, an open-ender. 9s is probably going to fold anyway. I think that we can just bet, but I'd bet less than a third. Like, think about it. We could bet 20 big blinds here. Let me just do the actual maths. So a quarter pot, 17 big blinds, right? So that times 2 plus 71 is going to be, so the pot will be 106 and we will have 68. So the SPR is going to be nearly like half. So if we bet literally a quarter pot, the SPR is like way less than 1 by the river. So it's very easy to get the money in. So we don't want to bet, like, betting half pot. Just keep an eye on the pot sizes. That's something you've got to, like, you know, with the what was it earlier on where we just bet like half pot or whatever on the turn, or we bet 3/4 on the turn when we really didn't need to. Well, that's what I'm saying. But I think that when we have a hand this strong, we can go a quarter. Like that sizing is just that is just bad. I mean, what bluffs do we have here? We're just going to shove our bluffs, right? I think I'd prefer shove into that, but yeah. So just bet a third at most on this turn with this kind of hand. Like, think about how much hands. So he's not going to fold like something like ace 10 of hearts, ace queen of hearts, you know, anything like that. Think about how many hands we want to keep in. Why would we want to like bet big where he might fold, like, you know, like queen 10 suited or something random? Like, anyway, I like the way he played it, but just on the turn, definitely go a smaller size. No need to go that big. Look, just keep an eye on what the stack to pot ratio is going to be. 5-6 suited and ace king. We're going to end the session with a bang. So this board here, I'm okay betting, I'm okay checking. We want to pick a small size on these boards. Right, look, don't you dare call. Don't do anything. Just fold. Bottom pair. Good. King jack suited. Seems like the last hand we're going to play. You're not going to cut it out mid-hand, are you? Or is that just going to be it? No, I guess not. I guess he just folds. Okay, so that is GG. I think you played well throughout most of that. It's only, I think, honestly, losing focus is something that's going to be an issue. I legitimately think that towards the end of a session, even if it's only 45 minutes to an hour, that you're not going to be as focused as you were at the start of it. So for that reason, I'd say take breaks when you can. Go and get a drink of water. Just get away from the screen for 5 minutes, if that. Like, and then just maybe even think about some hands and be like, okay, what could I have done better or something like that. Just make sure that you're keeping your focus. So yeah, aggression way less misplaced than it has been. Not just random barrels a lot of the time. I see it a little bit, like there was a 4-5 off, which you defended for no reason and barrel turn. Let's have a look at the graphs. So this is the full, what, 25 NL? And that's pretty solid. That red line is good. That red line has improved a lot. Because your red line was a problem, which we'll see in a minute. This isn't enough hands to draw many conclusions from. 34k hands. It's not. Grass going up so far, that's good. I like the regrind that you started off losing 10 buy-ins and then you've come back from that. That shows fucking... Honestly, that shows some like really good mental like fortitude. Like that is... Because if I started taking shots at higher stakes, I'd shit myself if I lost 10 buy-ins. Even there, we lose 10 buy-ins and look at that regrind, man. You love to see it. Absolutely fucking love to see it. Right, so that's 25 NL. This was 10 NL, and look at that red line. Like, that needed fucking sorting out. That needed sorting out, that red line. Look at the state of it. So, yeah. And if we go on every hand ever now, so this is over 300k, just look, obviously this is higher stakes, so it's obviously going to be thingy. But look at the improvement in the red line. Like, since there, your last, like, 50k hands, it's going up. And not only is it going up, your showdown winnings is still going up as well. So your profit's just fucking, like, maximizing. So this is 25 NL, no ante so far. Gotcha. Okay, well, again, this isn't too bad. And I definitely think that we're going to see some improvements. Just think about how, like, when you're losing, what, like... just nearly a buy-in with fives, like, just so many of these could have, like, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll end it here. Pretty solid. Pre-flop, quite solid. Just a couple of punts in there, which we don't need to do. Just make sure you stay focused. Try and find us some spots where we are tripling on the river or something. Or we get to a river and we have the opportunity to triple. Because a lot of the time you're taking it down on the turn, which is good because then that means people are probably overfolding on turns, which is probably really, really good. Other than that, I think you played relatively solid. Watch out for your sizings on like turns and rivers. When the SPR is only small, 4-bet pot, stuff like that, don't need to bet that big. Like we want to keep more, especially when we have the nuts. Like we want to keep more hands in.